The second one I found is actually the hardest to do on my own and the easiest to do with a facilitator. So just plug for doing inner work with a facilitator can be really helpful, especially in this, so easy to get lost, I think, when I'm doing stuff on my own. And that being said, one of the ways that I cultivated these inner works is I just noticed what patterns I was going off on my mind. And that's normally where things go for me, is my mind. I go too much thinking kind of person. So if I found myself in an energy over and over, in a pattern over and over, it was about becoming aware of the fact that something was trying to happen there. That's what it means when we're stuck. That's what it means when we're at an edge, is we actually need more support to deepen what's happening. It's not get over it, right? Get deeper, understand more what's happening, complete what's happening. So I can't even tell you how many hours of my life I have spent analyzing someone else's behavior. Hours, right? Most of the time when I'm thinking about a relationship problem, I am trying to understand the other person. Why would they do this? What did this mean? How would they react about this? I mean, oh my God. Like, not only with myself, hours with my friends. Me and all my friends sitting around. What could this mean? What about that? Well, maybe they're coming from here. Who knows? Right? Who knows where they're coming from or what they're coming from? This is a place I was stuck. I was focusing on trying to understand the other mentally. I was like, I need a tool here to help me. Because all that time that I spent focused on other people, trying to understand their behavior and their motivations that I'll never fully know, I missed out on these opportunities to understand myself and my own edges better. And, you know, in couples counseling, they say that people will come and they'll want the therapist to say who's right? Like both sides of the couple will kind of present their version of the story, and they're waiting for this sort of judge of the therapist to say, you're right, you're wrong, this is what you need to do. It's this punishment model, this objective right and wrong model of scientific materialism, of punishment and reward that we've internalized from our culture and then play out in our intimate relationships. So, you know, maybe there is no objectivity, right? And in addition to spending time trying to analyze the other person's behavior, I would spend hours in my mind making my case to some imaginary judge, talking to all my friends, making my case for why I was right and they were wrong, or if what they did was right, trying to be validated on that level. And what I realized is that every time that I'm even going down that track of who's right and who's wrong, it's the wrong track. Because, like, this is what's happening. There is no judge who's going to say right and wrong. And that Rumi thing of getting in that field beyond right and wrong, to deepen what's happening, instead of fighting with reality or creating more division between me and the other person by pulling this ethical weight of who's right. So I started doing this mantra that goes like this. Whenever I find myself analyzing their behavior, trying to say who's right, I say to myself, everything they do is right. Everything they do is right. And this isn't necessarily true, right? Like on one level, it's just a tool that creates a portal to look within, that creates some stop in the thinking outwards to come inside and think, what am I feeling, right? What is going on for me? So everything they do is right just turns the mirror around. And this isn't to say that on a different level of reality, like maybe they're lying or cheating or stealing or being mean, like, and all those things are going to be addressed by you later. But the sort of hard line to come down to help me look at myself so that I can know how to come out later and address those issues of maybe they're lying, cheating, stealing, being mean, or maybe I'm just at an edge to bring myself in, need something to force the awareness back for me. And so my mantra is like, everything they do is right. And this can be really hard, right? Like, You know, my friend was with a man who had an affair on her while she was pregnant. And obviously, you can say that's not necessarily a right thing to do. It's easy to say, right? But she could spend the rest of her life being furious with him and be totally justified in it, you know? And yeah. And on some level, for some part of her might spend a lot of time being angry at him and justifying her reasons why and feeling herself and the ways that she was hurt, which following her process might also be what she needs, right? To really feel the feelings and everything and to really say why he's wrong and learn about herself that way. But you can imagine if she was able to say, what if everything he did is right? What if everything he did was right? And then all she can do is look back at herself. If him having an affair and leaving her while she was pregnant was right, what does that allow her to then focus on? Right? Maybe really start grieving. Right? The anger is a way of holding on to the relationship. Like maybe he'll understand how he was wrong and come back to her. The anger is actually holding out hope that he'll come around. So everything he does is right means actually having to let go and really grieve. Means actually having to understand, oh, maybe I was at an edge to break the romance and really ask for clear commitment. Maybe I saw before that he was this kind of person, but I didn't want to listen to it. Maybe I need to stand more for the kind of relationship I want in the future and communicate clearly about it. It's just a tool, yeah. This person isn't calling me back. Everything they do is right. It's right for them not to call back. Now what? What do I do? This person didn't say anything when I read them my poem. Right? Could be like, they should read something. They should say something after I read them my poem. What if everything they do is right? You know, maybe I can ask them what they thought of my poem. So, anyway, yeah, the key here is to focus on you. And like I said, I can't exactly go into this because I want to take the last 5 minutes to do this other one. But anything that's directed on the other person, it's helpful for me in my inner work to let it go as much as I can. So anything that's like, I want them to do this, or how could they do that, or why did they do this, let it go, right? Everything they do is right. What do I want? And I think one of the biggest edges is actually to know what we want in relationship and to, even if it's fleeting or momentary, or just a little glimpse of something and to stand for it. Right? They're not calling me. What do I want? I want a relationship where we call each other. How can I stand for that more?